Hello sugar gliders, how are we all doing? I've decided that's going to be our new fandom name now. We're going to be called Sugar Gliders, giving reverence to our leader Aubrey, but we're not here to talk about Aubrey today. I thought I'd just do a little chatty video, a little update, and not all of you want to know about internet drama. Some of you have been following my story for a while and they want to know what's going on, and you'll probably wonder, well, you're still in this flat, what's going on? So I thought I would just do a little life update about what's going on. So at the moment, it's all a bit complicated. Basically, my landlord's given me a bit longer than I had originally anticipated, which is good in one way, but in another way, it's just elongated the stress a bit. So I'll probably put in some B-roll. Basically, I'm all packed. I took 5 weeks off of YouTube. I decluttered a lot of stuff. I donated a lot of stuff, and I really worked out going forward what I need and what I don't need. And I've pretty much condensed my life down into 5 boxes. The stuff that I've got out is the stuff that I can't really pack because I'm using it day after day. It is super frustrating because at this point, I've looked at 7 properties. Yes, 7 properties. Genuinely, trying to find somewhere to live has been more exhausting than dating. It's literally been horrendous, and I've had the kind of after every property. Hasn't been good enough and I've hated it. It's really difficult for me because I have so many things on my list. I need somewhere close to the station so I can get to work. I need somewhere where it's quiet so I can film. There's a lot more things to kind of think about before I make a decision, and I'm finding each property I go in, there's no heating, or there's mold, or no word of a lie, I went to one property and as I was there, the tenant below was just playing heavy metal music, and I don't know if they were doing it on purpose because they saw me viewing the property, but I can't live there. Like, my home isn't just a home. I have to work from home, I film from home. The space has to pretty much be a home and a studio. It has to be a multifunctional place for me to live. And at the moment, I just can't find anywhere. You know, I've done everything. I've made crystal grids, I've done everything. And then during my break, I had to just let go and think, whatever is meant to be is meant to be. Like, you've done your best. You're looking for a property every day. It's not as if you're just sitting, like, touching your crystals and hoping something will happen. I'm literally on the apps every day, looking for a flat, booking the viewings, ringing up, and I'm just finding that the properties aren't available, and they're not what I want. Because obviously, if you've seen my flat tour video, this is a really modern and spacious apartment, and I have had some issues with the neighbours, but nothing major. But it's a good block, really. And I think what happened, I was thinking about the other day, is I got cocky. I wasn't grateful for what I had. I wanted to leave. I wanted to find somewhere else. And maybe this is a lesson. Maybe this is a lesson for me to just appreciate what I had. And going and viewing these properties, it makes me so angry because the landlords literally do not care. These properties I'm viewing, I will look at the photos on the internet and say, yeah, I'll go and see that property. And then when I go and view the property, it doesn't look like that anymore. They're photos from 2 tenants previous, and then when I'm going, there's mold, the carpets are dirty. It's honestly been so frustrating because, like I say, I'm all packed. I want to move, I want to get settled. At the moment, I can't make the content I want to make because I have this in the back of my head of, oh, I don't know where I'm gonna live. It's honestly hasn't been a great summer, probably been like the worst summer I've ever had. I've had so much going on in the background. If you're not an OG, if you've only recently kind of stumbled on my videos, basically the room I'm in now, I film in front of a train track. So whenever a train goes past, I literally just stop, wait for the train to go past, and then I start filming again. And sometimes it's a bit inconvenient because you do lose your, no pun intended, train of thought when you have to literally wait for a train to go past. So for me, it's really important to find somewhere that is quiet, that I can film and isn't noisy. And I have to think, ideally I want a house, but I'm not there yet. It's not gonna happen. So I have to cut my cloth according to my caper. The trains stop at 1:30 and then they start again at about 5:30. I tend to sleep through it, but in summer, obviously I have to have my window open and then I tend to wake up early. It'll be nice to move somewhere where I literally have more than 4 hours sleep a night, but I suppose it's training for when you have a baby. It's just the way it is. So that's the update. That's why I'm still here. He hasn't given me a date. He's just said December. But the thing is, I want to move somewhere before then. I don't want him to get really angry with me for not moving out before. But I think in the back of his mind, he's probably thinking, well, if she's there, she's paying my mortgage and I don't have to pay it. So we shall see. In terms of monetization, it's a bit complicated. I keep getting to a certain figure, and then because I'm not posting as much, I keep losing the watch time that I need, and it's a bit of a frustrating situation. But generally, if I can get my channel monetized, then that would ideally be great, because then I've got that extra money each month to pay for my rent. So that's what I'm going to really push for next year is, well, this year, the next year, is to really get my channel monetized, because I'm literally so close. The thing is, when you mention Patreon, people just get really upset and they're like, I don't want to pay. But realistically, I think next year that's probably the way I'm going to go, is to put some videos on Patreon. I think at the moment now, it's not the right time, because if I do it, I want to give people the content that they've paid for. I just don't want it to be like an OnlyFans where I'm literally just asking money from fans and that's how it is. I want to, if I do ask for money, I want the content to be good. So I'm thinking about that next year as a way to get more income, is probably moving over to Patreon, because I've seen a lot of people do it. I understand if you can't afford it, and it won't be a lot. Like, I'm not going to be charging crazy amounts, but I thought I'd add that in now so that you're just aware and it's not just a shock. Woo! And dating. I was thinking the other day of a topic which I probably won't get. The thing is, I just probably won't get around to filming all the ideas that I've got, sadly, until I move. But I was thinking of the idea of how women date when they're ready and men date when they're single. What I mean is, I'll explain this. So during my move, I hadn't really felt like I was in the right mindset to date because I had so much going on. And then I thought, fuck it, I'm just gonna date. A man would date, a man wouldn't wait. A man literally dates when he is single. A woman usually dates when she's sorted, she's got her head sorted and she's ready to move on. And there were 2 people that I met online basically. And I just decided to date again. I decided I want to find someone. It's been 2 years since my last date. I literally haven't dated at all. And for me, it's difficult because I don't really find men attractive. I'm going through a stage now where it takes a lot for me to actually find a man attractive. I generally don't, on the whole, find men attractive. I think it's because, for me, I go based more on a man's character and how he is, and I can't distinguish that from a dating app. So dating apps is generally a real struggle. It's tough because I've made content saying there are only broke men on dating apps, and I think that sadly is largely true. I'm again really struggling to find people, but I thought, look, this is realistically the only way I will meet people. I don't meet people in day-to-day. Don't get DM'd. The people that DM me are literally people that are scammers. I only get people that DM me that say they're gonna blow my YouTube up. They say, oh yeah, I can blow your YouTube up, just give me money. I literally only get DM'd by scammers. I don't get DM'd by anyone suitable. So no one DMs me. I don't meet anyone in real life. If you've seen my disastrous attempts trying to make friends at work, trying to go on dates with people at work, it doesn't work. The men at work are shit scared they're going to lose their job if they go on a date with me. So what choice am I left with? I'm left with the dating apps. I was obviously going through a really sad time and I've had a lot of crap going on in my life, and I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to do the dating apps. I don't care. I met one man. He seemed pretty interested in me. When we matched, he sent me a long message and we got talking, but you know, it's not my first rodeo. I've done this so many times and I knew he wasn't ready. He just split up with someone And he had this weird thing where basically he split with his ex because she wanted children and he didn't. So for me, that's a red flag. Like, why am I wasting my time? This man doesn't want children. But when it's that reason that a man splits up with a woman, there's obviously love still there. The love's still there. It's not like someone cheated and it's a clean break. It would always be they still have feelings for each other. And I was just like, you're wasting my time. And in the end, he lived too far away. We matched and then he lived 2 hours away. And like, what is the point? What is the point of me dating someone 2 hours away? I'm busy every weekend filming. Logistically, it's not going to work. And I said to him, look, logistically, it's not going to work. You live 2 hours away, and that was it. I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste my time with people that aren't over their ex. And this is the thing. Men date when they're single, literally single, but not healed. Women date when they're healed. Women take longer to get over the relationship. And then they usually hit the gym, get a new haircut, make sure they're in a great mental mindset, and then they date. Whereas this person had literally ended his relationship and gone on Tinder. And he's wasted my time. He's wasting my time because he's not ready. So that was the first man. And then there was a second man I was chatting to. Unfortunately, he didn't seem as interested in the first man, which was a shame because he lived nearer and we didn't delve in that much detail, but I don't think he had the same issues as the other man had. We were just chatting and then it was the same old story. His responses were getting more and more time between the responses and I knew, okay, he's going to ghost me, just whatever, it's fine. And do you know why he ghosted me? He ghosted me because one evening he said, what are you doing? Which men usually ask when they want to turn the conversation sexual. But I just said I was reading a book and he said, what book are you reading? And I said that I was reading, I don't know if you can see that, I was reading The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. Just reading a book and I heard from him again. So girls, apparently reading is offensive now. Reading is offensive. How can you be ghosted for reading? I mean, it's like I've come up with a bit. It's like I've literally come up with a joke and I'm on a comedy show. This man ghosted me because I read a book. Because this is what modern dating is like. It's generally hell for women because the men don't want to take you out for dinner. They just want someone to have sex with. And it's literally just horrendous. What are we supposed to do? I can't remember it's from. I think it's Modern Family where it's like smart men marry dumb women. Dumb men marry dumb women. And what do smart women get? They get cats. And in my case, I get John Steinbeck. I get reading. I get reading a book. Because reading is offensive. I mean, don't read, girls, because if you read, you'll get ghosted by someone. This is the thing I always find, and I know it's going to come across the wrong way, but I generally feel too intelligent for a lot of the people that I've ever dated, and this is always my problem. I'm not pretending to be the smartest person in the room. I really struggle to find someone because I'm an intelligent person, and it always throws off a man's ego. They don't like the fact that I'm intelligent and they don't like the fact that I'm funny. It's just, it disturbs their ego too much. And I have been talking about the male ego for what I think is years and years and years. Me reading a book, it disturbed his ego because he didn't know who John Steinbeck was. Maybe I disturbed his ego. He literally just could have Googled the book. But then maybe he just wanted sex, and the fact that I tried to have an adult conversation with him about a book, it turned him off because he was just looking for someone to have sex with. Maybe that's the answer. People say get out into the real world, but where? There are no third spaces for people now. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place of not having enough money to live in a city where there's loads of people. So I'm stuck in a crappy town and there's no third spaces. I mean, what am I supposed to do? I'm not going to go to Weatherspoons and meet someone. Why would I go to Weatherspoons and then I can just have a broke life with a broke man? I'm not going to do that. How can you be ghosted over a book? How can you literally be... I'm not over it. I'm not over it, people. How can you be ghosted over reading a book? It's just crazy. And I thought I'd just end it with... There's a meme at the moment going around of this girl called Riley. And Riley is a girl... It must have been some kind of Jubilee video. But basically, she's a lovely girl. She's... How can I put this? She's maybe... not what the current beauty standard is for women. And she goes on one of those Jubilee dating shows and she says that she likes, I don't know, anime or something. And all the men are just sitting laughing at her. And a lot of people have come out in support of Riley because men complain about the male loneliness epidemic there is. But at the same time, they're not giving people like Riley a chance. They're brainwashed by pornography, thinking they're going to get a 10 out of 10. And then they sit around, and I know this isn't all men. There's a subsection of the internet that spend their time making those stick drawings. You know, those stick drawings where a 10 will sleep with a 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Do you know what I mean? They make those stick drawings when there's genuine people like Riley that can't find anyone. And it's because, sadly, all the quirky girls, they only succeed in the films made by the men. The quirky girls don't succeed in real life. Maybe I've just had a bad day, but I'm kind of fed up of men marrying the dumb women. Take care, sugar gliders. See you soon.